one thing I've learned in life was to always treat people the way I would want to be treated. Always treat people with dignity, kindness, and respect. No matter what walk of life the individual come from, no matter what they going through, they can be broke, homeless, no matter where they at, you always treat people with dignity and respect. And it seems like in today's society, a lot of people lack humility. A lot of people lack morality. A lot of people just lack respect. There's no regard for life, period. There's no regard for your fellow brother or your fellow sister, man. You know, a lot of people tend to gravitate towards chaos. A lot of people gravitate towards racism. A lot of people gravitate towards sexism. And that's not the way that anybody should want to live. It's almost like in today's society, people would judge a book by its cover. And I've experienced this, like me being in commercial cleaning. I own my own commercial cleaning business. So I'm considered what you would call a janitor. To those who are ignorant, they would look at me as just a janitor, the lowest man on a totem pole or whatever, right? Just disregard. There's no respect for my line of work. Even though the janitor is the one who comes in every day and is responsible for keeping the facility clean, to keep it sanitized, keeping restrooms clean, keeping the floors looking good, keeping all the smudge off of the mirrors, clearing out cobwebs, clearing out dust, clearing out crumbs to keep ants and other insects from trying to creep in, and making sure everything is up to par to keep the wildlife from coming in, like mice and other rodents. And people will disregard the janitor. I was always taught, never look down on the janitor. Never look down on the janitor. And this is what most people do. You know, and I can sympathize with that. I can empathize with that because I am what you would call a janitor. You know, even though I'm the business owner, when you step in these facilities, people look at you like you're less than. They don't really appreciate you. You know, I got my few facilities that, well, a lot of my facilities I service, I have good working relationships with some of the clients I come in touch with, but it's been those few I done had to where people will blame everything on the janitor. One wrong thing. Oh, it must have been the cleaner crew. It must have been the cleaners. The cleaners didn't do this. People will purposely mess up an area after you just cleaned it, and then will go report to the higher ups that you haven't done this hasn't been done. And they will put D's on it, though. They will put extra mustard on it and say, oh, yeah, this hasn't been done for weeks. Oh, behind this door haven't been vacuumed for weeks. But when you know you're good at what you do, and not to toot my own horn or be arrogant or cocky, but when you know the kind of clientele you have and the relationships you have and the reputation you have and the passion you have, and you actually enjoy what you're doing, it's almost like a slap to the face, especially when you get in there and you go above and beyond your scope of work. And this is what I was saying. Like, a lot of people don't have respect for what they would call the janitor, even though a lot of people think I'm just a regular worker. I don't carry myself like I'm just the biggest higher up. I carry myself in a very humble manner, so they would probably think I was an employee, but I'm actually the owner. And it's like that, man. Like, I've walked in facilities for my meetings or whatever, and I can come in dressed in my cleaning gear. If I'm leaving from one account to the next and I got a meeting to go into in between, I come in dressed in my gear, and you'll walk in with your pamphlet, business cards, your notes ready to go. And you have somebody in an authoritative position will come at you like, what are you doing here? Who are you? Then I will have to politely tell them, like, hey, I'm the owner of the company that will be providing services for your facility. And then the attitude change. But you have those situations where people often judge a book by its cover. They don't know what you can be a janitor. There's nothing wrong with being a janitor. There's nothing wrong with that. That can be your supplemental job, or it can be your primary job. You might have gone into business for yourself, but a lot of people will try to treat you as if you're no value for real. Even though you in there vacuuming, cleaning toilets. I actually enjoy cleaning the toilets and vacuuming, collecting the trash, stripping and waxing, everything that comes with this line of work. I enjoy every part of it. But what I'm not going to do is stand up here and accept disrespect. And this is what I mean. You have to humble yourself and come from a place of humble beginnings and come with humility when you are dealing with anybody, rather who you think they are, what you perceive they are, or what walk of life you may think this person is in. You know, I might not be the most handsomest guy on the eyes to everyone, but I take pride in my work. I'm not prideful, but I take pride in what I do. I take my line of business very serious, especially considering what the world experienced 6 years ago, and everybody know what I'm talking about. And I take my line of work very serious, whether it's a restaurant, whether it's a daycare, whether it's a small office, a dental facility, anywhere. I'm going to take my line of work very serious. I'm going to keep everything sanitized, wiped down, doorknobs, the faucets, the toilets, especially them toilets, everywhere, the desk, the entryway doors, all those high touch surface areas where there's a lot of traffic. I'm going to make sure I pay extra attention to those areas. But you got people that don't appreciate the hard work you put in. It'll be people that will go up here and make up stuff on the janitor and say this and that ain't done, or hey, they haven't done this in weeks and weeks, not knowing I'm a YouTuber, not knowing I've documented and taken pictures and filmed a lot of stuff. And that's why I say you got to be careful about who you're dealing with. You know, I'm the owner. I've been in business for over almost 10 years now. And I've most of my clients has been with me from day one, from the ground up, been riding with me, rocking with my company. So when you have somebody that is ignorant because they thinking one thing, they judging a book by its cover, you got to tread lightly. You have to be very careful because you never know the kind of person you're dealing with. And I say that humbly and professionally. Like, I'm a professional at what I do. A lot of us are professionals at what we do, and we take our work very serious, but people will look down on the person that they consider just the janitor. And that's why I say you always have to treat everybody with respect. You never know. You can be talking to a millionaire. There's some very successful commercial cleaning businesses, some very successful individuals behind these businesses. It's professionals in food service. You can be talking to the owner when you walk into the restaurant, and they can just be walking around in a regular uniform like they other team members. You never know who you're dealing with. I see people go through it in fast food or restaurants. I see people go through it for car washes, just anywhere where people would think that you're probably not making, you know, a decent living or making enough money. People look at certain jobs like, oh, I'm doing better than them, or people that have like a higher position or that went to school and got the education and maybe got a decent wage. They will get all sedity and cocky and arrogant and egotistical and thinking they can talk down on somebody because they might have caught them working at the restaurant or caught them doing like a cleaning job, or call them doing like a nurse assistant job or something like that. But these individuals that are what I would call essential workers are out there. A lot of them be locked in. They're very passionate about what they're doing. A lot of us, this is what we do to take care of our families. You never know what a person going through and what they trying to get through, or what goals they trying to reach. And here you go with somebody trying to make stuff harder on that person. Trying to make stuff harder on that person. You don't know what that person going through. If they got autistic children at home, or a sick mother or a sick father, or they taking care of a lot of people at one time. They might have a lot on their plate, and this is their way to come to work and escape what they going through in their personal life to make some money to be able to take care of everything that's going on in their personal life. But you go into these facilities or going to these jobs or you going to people's places of work and mistreat people just because they work at the restaurant, just because they flipping burgers. How you know that person ain't picked up a second job and they got a really, really good job during the day? Or people might drive Uber. People talk crazy to the Uber drivers. People talk crazy to the DoorDashers. Like, you should never try to shit on nobody because of what they doing for a living. As long as you out there working, I don't care if you're working at White Castle, McDonald's, a chicken restaurant. I don't care what it is you're doing. As long as you working, as long as you occupied and taking care of business, you do that. But you got people that will look down on people, especially like the janitor, sanitation workers, people tossing trash out here, people going out doing groundskeeping work or getting out here cutting grass. That's a lot of work, man. That's a lot of labor. It's people that get out here and work hard every day for their money and for their families and for a living to provide a decent environment for their family. But you have people that be in these higher positions that will look down on you as if you ain't nothing, or you have nothing to offer, or you have no knowledge. You might have come into a job on an entry level position, right? And you might have a lot of experience under your belt or a lot of education under your belt, but some people won't even take a minute to look at your resume. But they looking at what you can be in there as a janitor, collecting trash or sweeping around. And you might strike a conversation with somebody. They have turned their nose up to you or overlook you. I've been at facilities and people not even knowing I'm the owner, I will just speak to somebody. They wouldn't even speak back. And a lot of people that were probably working in corporate, I make more money than them. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn or shit on nobody, but it ain't about that. It's just, don't treat people like you just too high up to engage in a simple, hey, how you doing? Hey, how your day going? Hey, hope your day going well. People will turn their nose up, especially some of the women I would speak to, or some of the guys that we walking through. Hey, how you doing, sir? How you doing? Act like they didn't hear me. The ladies turn their nose up like, what this janitor doing speaking to me? I know he probably trying to get on, trying to talk. And I'm just being nice and generous. Just common courtesy to give them a head nod or speak. But just because I'm walking around collecting trash or sweeping or mopping, they think I'm just a janitor. And that's why I said I always learn in life to treat everybody with kindness and respect. Man, I'm gonna tell you something, a true story. I have a neighbor that worked with me. I had given a job to help me at nighttime with some of my night cleans. He was 5 years sober. I used to see him out there, kind of going through some things, because that's challenging to be sober. But I seen something in him, because I seen him out there collecting cans, taking his son out, collecting like stuff that people would throw out so they can resell it. And I just wanted to give him an opportunity to come over and work for me. He turned out to be one of my best employees, one of the best. And I say I can learn a lot from anybody. You can learn a lot from anybody, no matter what walk of life they in, no matter where they come from, no matter what a person going through. If you just take a minute to get to know somebody, you can learn a lot. You can learn a lot. And I just thank God, most of all, for putting me in position to be able to remain humble and put me in a position to be able to be a help to other people. It's a blessing, man. Like, I always told myself, man, if I ever started my own company, I just wanted to give back and pay it forward, man. And that's what it's all about, paying it forward, giving back, not looking down on nobody. I never look down on nobody. I don't care how they look or what they appear to, how they appear. You don't never know who you entertaining. You never know who this person is. You know what I'm saying? And it'd be people like that just think they just so high and just above everybody else that try to shit on the next man or the next lady. It ain't cool. I don't care if a female came up to me and they got 6 kids, but they need a opportunity for a job, I'm gonna work with their schedule. If I can be a help, that's what I'm gonna try to do. So I say, man, maybe this is a way of God using me just to be helpful to other people. I always said if I became wealthy, like rich or whatever, I would give it back. I would give back to the shelters, give back to cancer research for kids, and just do all the right things. I heard about a situation through the grapevine of a certain child care center that was they were like ranked high for most likely that some of the kids that attended that place wouldn't eat for the night. It touched my heart, man. And I was like, man, maybe if I do this, I could start doing something for them. Maybe do some food drives or something. That's what it's all about. Like just giving back and helping people. You know, sorry about that, man, but I just want to be helpful, man. And that's why I say never judge a book by its cover or never disrespect nobody, because never look down on nobody else. Always treat your fellow man with dignity and respect and kindness and love. Because you never know what nobody going through or what kind of gifts they have. And, you know, I'm a strong believer in Christ. I know sometimes I come off raw and uncut, and I'm working on that. But I just want to just continue to, you know, spread love and just be there for people, man. And that's what it's all about. Let me know what y'all think about this video. It's your boy, Deontay. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm out. Peace.